Actually, as a kid, I didn't know there was a path as far as the art world for me. I didn't even know it even existed. Um, Not until became of age. I mean, I've always did paintings and graffiti and things like that, but I didn't know that you can possibly make a career out of it until I was cutting hair one day because I was a barber at one time, and I'm cutting hair, and this guy whose hair I've always cut it. Overheard him tell someone to meet him at his studio, and I thought he was talking about music. So when I asked him what type of music he did, he told me he didn't do any music. He painted like paintings, and so he invited me down to his studio. And when I saw what he was doing, and learned the fact that he was self-taught, it kind of put that battery in my back to pursue it as a career. I would say the biggest challenge is not having enough room. Because with me, wherever I've been, even when my first apartment, when I first walked in, I'm thinking it was big, but then once I started bringing stuff in, it just got small. And it was the same way with this shop. When we first came in, I thought it was pretty big, but now it's like the challenge is, how do I take this space that I thought was so large now that it seems small, but how can I pack the stuff I want in here without it looking packed? I still want people to be able to have some airiness to it, to be able to walk around freely. But the challenge to me now is, how can I still decorate it and make it more appealing to the eye without it being too much of a distraction, having things everywhere.
Well, Cedric and I have been together going on 18 years, and this isn't our first rodeo as far as like collaborating on a project. We had a blog in Savannah called You're Welcome Savannah, and so we worked with that as we highlighted small business and artists, musicians, chefs, anybody local and creative. We did that for probably about 8 or 10 years, and we worked really well on that together.
I guess it's almost like a balance beam. I look at it like I'm more creative. My mind is always like, oh, well, it looks good, and putting things together and stuff. But as far as the part about like paperwork and the business part of it, I'm not that good at that. So I look at it more like it's a balance with us. She's, and not to say that she doesn't have any creativity or I don't have a little business, but I just look at like sometimes you have to focus on your strengths, and my strength is more of as far as what it looks like in here.
Speaking of the store, I think the thing that stands out to me most was this woman came in and she was viewing all of our candles, and she got lost in the moment of one particular scent from Flamingo Estate. It was our tomato candle. She started crying. It brought her, and it turned into like a therapy session. It took her to her grandmother's kitchen, and she just lost herself within the moment here. She was transported back to a time of happiness for her, and so it's interesting to see, and it's nice to see and be here for customers when they're having moments, whether a smell ignites their memory, or a color, or we have T-shirts that are very empowering.
But I want to have like a seating area where we have like a huge coffee table book. I mean, a coffee table with books on it that they normally wouldn't be able to go to see in the library. Like I've been to the library here. I don't see a lot of books on art itself. So I would love to supply that so people can just come in and they just want to relax, sip on something, and read through the books. But also just come in there and communicate with us. This is another way for us to get to know the people in Macon and learn the history of Macon. So that's one of the aims. I'm really hoping that we can get to that point, that we have, like I said, like a a sitting area that people can just come in and just hang out.